All right, Nittany Nation, we are back. I'm Andy, and we got Nick over here. We're back again for our 6th episode here for the Voice of College Football, the Penn State version.
Just keeping that train going, boys and girls. We are getting there now. We are just about 50 days away from football.
Meaningful football, at least.
Something. Just give me something at this point. I'm jonesing. I'm over here doing one of these.
Give me something besides animated football with the new football game out.
I've been playing way too much college football 26 for my own good, just to say nonetheless.
Right, it's definitely affecting the sleep schedule. You need sleep to work. Not right now, I don't.
No, it's 4th and 3. I got to go for this.
Right. I got one more game to get to the Big Ten championship. Like, we can do this tonight.
Yeah, this can go. I'll be fine in the morning.
All right. So as we enter the slow time of college football, where it's just anticipation.
Hurry up and wait.
And anticipation will kill you. I did see some people were talking about what would be a fun matchup if Penn State makes the college football playoff again, which they're expected to do. So people were just discussing what would be a fun matchup for Penn State.
That's something that I haven't really put a lot of thought into. A fun matchup in the playoff. Are we talking in the first round, the second round? What are we talking here?
I've seen first round where you'd like to see Penn State go on the road to, just to experience a different venue they haven't experienced, or a different home environment they haven't experienced, and in the title game.
Let's see. So, man, because now we've got 12 teams now?
Yep, 12 teams that's staying at 12 this year.
I could easily see them being, well, if they win the Big Ten, I could see them being a 1 or a 2 seed. But let's for all hypotheticals here, just say that they are not. And they're at, let's say 7 or 8. Oh, man, what would be a fun school to have them go to? I don't know. Who do you think? You go ahead and go first while I think about it.
My mind instantly goes to teams I don't like. Just teams I would enjoy beating. And one of those teams is Clemson.
Okay.
And Dabo Swinney over there. I just don't like them. No real reason. I just don't like Clemson.
I would love, and this would be I would love to see them go to a Notre Dame. Go into Notre Dame and just dog walk them in Notre Dame. I think that would be fun.
Just revenge. Just the revenge game.
Just pure, unadulterated revenge.
I think another cool matchup would be say North Carolina is actually good with Bill Belichick this year.
Right.
And you got all the narratives that, James Franklin's not a good coach, and you have the greatest coach in football. If he gets a win against Bill Belichick, does that get some of the...
Of other schools like that, I was thinking of Colorado was a funny one. I thought that'd be hilarious if somehow Colorado gets good and they go out. That stadium is so small. It would just be so funny to watch Penn State go into that stadium.
It'd probably be a snow game.
Oh, yeah. Talk about a whiteout.
Be Deion versus James Franklin.
I just think that'd be so funny. It's talk about the polar opposites of coaching.
Yeah. You got James Franklin, who watches every word he says, super careful with the media, and Deion, who just says whatever pops in.
I didn't say that. Wait, did I say that? Oh, I might have said that. Yeah. I mean, so I think that, yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And then I was just thinking, who would be the most satisfying win in the playoff against? And I would think it would have to be Ohio State at this point.
It would yeah, that or Notre Dame. Those are the two.
Yeah.
I feel like there's not a whole lot of other ones unless you go down and beat an Alabama or a LSU or something some SEC team that's just running amok.
LSU's a good one. I heard somebody say LSU for the championship game would be good because you have 2 coaches that are regarded as the coaches that can't win a big game.
Mhm.
Brian Kelly down in LSU and James Franklin, 2 coaches like you what which coach can't win the big game? And those are like the 2 names that come up the most.
The game just goes to 37 overtimes.
Nobody wants to win it.
Sun's coming up. They're like, please, somebody just score for the love of God.
All we need is a 2-point conversion.
Nope. A few days later.
Let's see, what else would be fun in the championship game?
Championship. I think it would be fun to do like, It's always fun if some Cinderella team just makes a run though. Let's say Boise State just goes on an absolute tear and makes it to the Natty, and then just runs into a brick wall like Penn State. That would be like, oh, sorry boys, we hate to play the Disney victim here, but it's not going to happen this year.
Right, just be the team that ends the Cinderella run.
Oh, I feel like that would just it would hurt. It would be. Have you ever heard of the term Schadenfreude?
No.
It's a German term. So Schadenfreude means taking joy in another one's misery. So like every time Ohio State beats us, Ohio State is feeling Schadenfreude for weeks.
Gotcha. I can see that. Of course, any SEC team would be fun, just because if you beat any SEC team, you essentially beat the whole conference because the one conference that roots for each other.
Yeah, the one team that first came to my mind from the SEC was Tennessee. Penn State versus Tennessee, I feel like would just be an absolute banger of a national championship.
Talk about 2 fan bases that can be absolutely toxic.
Yeah, that's exactly. I feel like like those European soccer teams that like light the bleachers on fire mid game and they're like screaming and jumping. I feel like you could technically see that in the national championship. Honestly, I'd be a little upset because those are expensive seats, but at the same time, I'd be like, hey, they can afford it. Burn it down.
Right. That would be an amazing atmosphere, and just like the color clash, you have Penn State's going to wear white, Tennessee wear orange. It'd be quite the color clash as well instead of the...
Except Tennessee is white and orange, so I'm pretty sure everybody would go away and would go blue.
Oh, Penn State's pretty notorious for wearing white if you're on the road.
Then it would just look like, well, national championship game, are you on the road?
Well, technically, you're not in Beaver.
Well, somebody's got to be home. People think Syracuse is playing with those 2 colors.
Yeah, we'll let Tennessee be home just so we can wear white.
It would all white with white helmet would be sick.
And then I also seen like people were ranking like top rivalry games, and Penn State doesn't really have a traditional rival. We don't, we stopped playing Pitt because it doesn't really do anything for us.
No, I'm interested though. Let's think here. Top 5 college football rivalries. Who do you got for your top 5? And you don't have to be any specific order.
Well, I think Michigan and Ohio State have to be on there.
Okay.
For sure. I think that's got to be on any rivalry list.
100%.
Army Navy.
I love it. I'm so glad you put that on there.
Like that's got to be up there because they get their own weekend for it. They're the only game on that Saturday.
And it's funny. Funny thing about Army Navy game and Michigan Ohio State are two of my top 5. But I tell people, anybody who's from a different country who always says, "Oh, I don't understand American football like your college football. Why do you guys do that?" I go, just watch the Army Navy game and you'll completely get it.
Let's see what else you got out there. Florida Georgia's pretty cool because they just make a big party out of it in Jacksonville.
That's not a bad one. Now, these are just football, too. These are just football for everybody who's going to go in the chat and say something else. These are strictly football. We're not talking basketball or any other sports right now.
Texas, Oklahoma, same kind of thing. They go neutral site. They go neutral
Okay.
site, and
I like that one. That's one of mine. So we've got 3 that are the same. Okay. I love the
and
Texas
then
Oklahoma rivalry.
and then I don't know, the USC Notre Dame, maybe.
Interesting. That's the Battle of the Catholics.
Right? I think they play for like a shillelagh or something.
I think they actually do. It's something like that. That's not a bad one. Okay, so we have 3 that are the same. So one massive rivalry that it's fanned out in a few years, but only because the teams have and one's left the other. But still to this day, I still think UCLA versus USC is still one of the greatest rivalries. It's literally the public versus the private school.
That they always wear their home uniforms against each other, so the color clash is great.
It's the blue and gold versus the burgundy and gold, and and they play it in the Rose Bowl, which is iconic. And so, yeah, I would say that, or it's either at the Rose Bowl or the LA Coliseum. So that's the only 2. Like they play at 2 iconic stadiums.
Yeah, for sure.
And then
it's always a spectacle with those 2.
Did I lag there for a second?
A little bit, but you're good.
I feel like we have a delay going right now, which is not good. Hopefully it catches itself up.
Yeah, you did lag there for a second. Who else?
Yeah, I had a bit of a lag. So let me see here. I think there is just a bit of a delay, and that kind of threw me off of my game there for a second. So just to recap, we had Michigan, Ohio State. We had Texas, Oklahoma. I picked UCLA.
Army, Navy.
Oh, I picked UCLA, USC. We had Army, Navy. And then I would have to say my last rivalry. Oh, man, if they still had it, it's another Notre Dame one, but it just doesn't hit the same. But it used to hit so well. It was Notre Dame versus Boston College. Just back in the day, that was an absolute, beat down game. But that's nostalgic coming in there. New rivalry. I think a new rival that you're going to see is the Penn State Ohio State this year. I think it's going to be reignited as well, and I don't see why the team can't be on here twice.
Penn State's got to win one before we got to win a couple here.
So making a rivalry. They say that about UCLA too, but it's still a rivalry.
Kind of along those same lines. I think it'd be cool if we, played some different teams that we don't normally play.
Well, I can't wait. I can't wait for Penn State to go to UCLA. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that's going to be really cool. And then, I think it's next year, we go to Syracuse.
Ooh, okay.
We have a home and home against Syracuse. I don't know which way it goes first, if we're home first or they're home, but we're playing Syracuse. And that's taking it old school back to when Penn State was independent.
Penn State hasn't gone to Oregon yet, have they?
No.
I can't remember. They were at home, right?
They haven't played Oregon in the regular season. They played them in the Big Ten.
So that another one, them going to Oregon will be in the regular season. I think I'm just thinking of some fun ones that'll be upcoming because these are new rivalries now. Ever since you get UCLA and you throw them in USC and Oregon into the Big Ten, it becomes a completely different melting pot. I mean, you might see a USC-Oregon rivalry start something.
Yeah. And I mean, if you look at Penn State USC, first year in the Big Ten last year, and that game was a classic. Walk-off field goal in overtime.
And that's another one. That has all the fixings to be a rivalry because once again, it's the private school versus the hard-working school. Penn State's always been down and gritty, and I mean all the famous actors and directors and everybody go to USC. So that I think that could turn into a decent rivalry as well.
One of the things of many that the pandemic robbed us of was Penn State was scheduled to go to Virginia Tech for a game. And the pandemic robbed us of that game. And now there's even an added feature because Brent Pry left. Our defense coordinator, Brent Pry, left to go coach at Virginia Tech. And that's just an electric atmosphere in Blacksburg. I think it'd be super cool to go watch a game there.
You know what though? I think they say Happy Valley's the second or third loudest stadium in the nation. So I mean, there's not a lot of places that, when it comes to the experience, there's not a lot of places that rival Penn State.
No, but that entrance can rival Penn State's. They play what, Sandman for Metallica.
Yeah.
Like that could be pretty electric, or just at least cool to see.
Oh well, you don't like Sandstorm? Well, not
Maybe
Sandstorm.
is it Sandstorm? Is it that?
Wait, who are you talking about?
Metallica, Virginia Tech when
yeah,
they come out.
No, they play Enter Sandman.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. I got my brain all twisted up there. That's on me.
And then
a long few days.
Let's see what else. Yeah, so we're facing Oregon the first time this year in the regular season.
That's home, right?
Yes, that's going to be whiteout.
That's what I thought.
Week 5.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's home. I still don't have the schedule memorized yet.
And then, like I said, whiteout, so it's at night. Like everything's set up for Penn State to do what needs to be done to start changing the narrative.
I know, right? That's a statement game any way you look at it.
Yeah, for sure. Like at some point you gotta win the game.
I mean, I feel like I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but until we see something about it, I'm just going to talk about it until Drew B's about it.
Right. Drew helped James out. James helped Drew out. Like, get the monkeys off both your backs right here. And
seriously,
let's win a big game this year. Starts with Oregon. That's your first chance at the big game win. Then you go to Ohio State in a few weeks. There's your second chance.
Man, and you put your name on the map if you do that. You go boom, boom. You put your name straight on the how you doing map right there.
Yeah. You change the entire narrative of the program if you beat both those teams this year.
It's a big ask, but we're asking a lot this year. We've said it up, down, left, and right. This is, I mean, bringing back all the starters that they are, bringing back an experienced quarterback, bringing back not one but 2 running backs.
Yeah, like expectations.
Somebody asked me that the other day. Do you think, and this was, I mean, do you think that we could have dual 1,000-yard rushers this year?
Yeah,
for sure. Think so?
Unless we are like as good as we think we can be,
and those
guys over the top and get those guys, save them up for the playoffs. Make sure they're both fresh for the playoffs.
And that's that's not a bad thing though. Like you said, and I like that. If we're as good as we think we are, then we don't have to, jump on their backs all season long. We can let them rest. Let's throw the ball. It's weird that I'm going to say this for Penn State. Let's throw the ball 40 times, 50 times in a game, maybe once or twice.
Right. I mean, Drew's got enough talent for it to happen. The transfer receivers are supposed to be good enough. Like, let's give teams something else to think about besides stopping Singleton and Allen.
But, on the other side of that, if we need them, it's nice to have them.
They are there.
They are there. They are there and ready.
Yeah. As long as those 2 are healthy, if we're in the playoffs, if those 2 are healthy, I like our chances.
I do as well. You know what? I mean, it's hard to. I mean, like I've always said, I think it's way harder to strategize against a good run game than it is a good pass game.
Yeah, because it'll just wear you down. Where the passing game doesn't wear you down.
Mm-mm.
You can take the will out of a team if you can just run it down their throats.
You just take the wind out of their sails.
Yeah, like it just demoralizes the other team. You don't just beat them physically; you beat them mentally.
Exactly. You just beat them literally into submission, and literally, like it's so funny. I used to have a coach who said, "If you get 4 yards every play, you'll win every game."
Yeah, it's gonna be a short game because you're gonna run clock like nobody's business.
Oh my god, the game will be 14-0, hopefully.
You had 4 drives total.
Just 4 drives for 80 minutes. You're like, nailed it.
Pull a Navy or an Army.
Just dink and dunk your whole way down there. Just 4, 5, 3, 5, 4 at a time, and just beat them into the ground.
And let's see what else is going on in Penn State football that we can chat about.
This is the dark time. We got media week coming up though, which is going to be
we
nice.
do. That should be fun.
I wonder if we I wish there was a Tuesday presser or a Friday presser. We could like live stream it.
I think Penn State's on Wednesday, if I remember right.
Do we want to think about? We'll talk about that after the show. But
yeah,
I almost just thought we weren't live for a second. Excuse me, everybody.
We're just breaking into a content meeting here.
You guys seeing the back doors. You guys seeing the back end of this. But no. There's just not a lot going on right now. It's all about whataboutisms and who's its and what's its.
Yeah, and let's see. One game I am a little worried about this year?
Oh, boy.
It's the next to last game of the year. It's when Nebraska comes to town.
This has been Nebraska over the past few years.
Yeah, since they hired Matt Rule, they're just inching better and better and better. And Matt Rule, he was a Penn State guy, so I'm sure to him, beating Penn State would feel pretty good.
Oof. And
they got a quarterback.
Those are the two that scare me the most of all the games this year. Over Oregon, over Ohio State. Nope, it's Iowa and Nebraska are the two that. Sorry, brain right there. And Nebraska, who are the two that I just like. I'm just looking at those and going, "Ooh, trap game." I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah, with Nebraska, if their quarterback Dylan Raiola can just, if he continues to take the next step, a good quarterback can beat any team.
I think he did lose his best receiver though, so that is a slight plus for our end. But I'm sure they're not really down for the receivers as much as they always have one guy every few years who stands out. But those are the type of games that just make me just cringe up a little bit.
And it's late in the season, so everything's molded. Everything's kind of you know your team by then. And Matt Rule's a good coach.
Very good. Minus his few mishaps, he's still a great coach.
Yeah, let's just not worry about what he did at the Carolina Panthers in the NFL.
Listen, there's nobody who's gonna fix that, okay?
Yeah. If you just look at his college resume, I mean, he did the same thing at Temple. Year 3, through the roof. Then he goes to Baylor. Year 3, through the roof. Well,
all right,
it's year 3.
But granted, he had an unbelievable team at Baylor.
He did.
And I'm just saying, let's be. I mean, I don't think that Nebraska team was that Baylor team, but you never know. You'll never know until this season. So,
yeah,
leaves everything in question.
I think he's got the quarterback that he wants, and like I said, he's got a trend. The third year he's at a program is the year they break through, and it's year 3.
See, that's kind of, it's the funny thing is that's the one that worries you. It's the Iowa that worries me, because this is like the 1 year where the one question mark, and it's not a big question mark, but the question mark is linebackers this year for us, and it's tight end U. And if they pull out 2 tight ends and just start crisscross applesauce in us, that's going to be a big, big problem.
Yeah, that's definitely the one position group that we're the shallowest at. We don't. I never
thought I'd say that.
Right? LBU, and we're kind of thin at linebacker.
When one goes down, it's like, all right, you ready to go, Mr. Sophomore
or freshman? I mean, because I don't know if LeVar Arrington Jr. He's got the body for college already, but I don't think he's got the body to move to defensive end yet.
Oh, no, not yet.
Like follow that Abdul Carter path where he starts out at linebacker,
and
then after a couple
bulks
years
up
he
and moves in.
But
Not a bad thing. Start him at outside, move him to inside, then take him down to end.
yeah, but I mean, you get past our 3 linebackers. We got the transfer, Campbell. You got Rojas and DeLuca. You get past those 3, there's a lot of question marks.
I don't know. I think the secondary actually is pretty strong from what I've seen. We got a couple of hard hitters coming back, and I think that what's that kid from? Not North. Is he from North Carolina? Who's the DB?
Yeah. He's the linebacker. Yeah.
Now who's the kid we got? There's a DB who came from somewhere too. I had it.
Alabama, King Mac.
That's it. That kid can.
Yeah.
That kid can hit. So I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I'm just wondering. I'm curious to see what the linebackers do this year more than anything else.
Yeah, I think that's, like I said, that's if there's a question mark on the defense, that's where it's at.
I agree.
If there's one.
Yeah. Or they just come out and it's Miami 2.0, or Miami 3.0, I should say.
Right? The 2001 Miami reincarnated.
Did you know that they would have won 8 of those games had their offense scored 0 points?
Yeah. Like the defense alone was good enough to win their games.
It's unbelievable. Hey, that could be this year.
It pretty much was against SMU in the playoffs last year.
So, I mean, let these boys fly around like they're on fire.
It would be nice to see the defense get a few more turnovers and turn them into points. I feel like we've been kind of lacking on that front the last couple of years with the fumble returns for touchdowns, pick sixes. You take away the playoff game, I feel like we really haven't had a ton of that. Not that it's easy to do.
No, exactly. But I get exactly what you're saying too. But at the same time, I just keep losing my train of thought today. This defense could, with Knowles coming in from Ohio State, watching that Ohio State defense last year, that looked like they were just barrel of monkeys on cocaine running around. Hopefully it puts that mentality into this defense, and we're just going to see boys flying.
Yeah, Ohio State's defense was on a different level than anybody else in college football last year. If Penn State gets to there with what we have on offense, it should be a fun year.
48-0 every game.
Hey, I will take 31 points.
I'll take 20. I'll take the good old 28 points there. They were so close.
You give me 31 points, I feel good about any game we're in.
I pretty much agree with that one. You know what? I would even take 28 points, to be honest, but I know that 28's a scary number.
Yeah, you get up against you go up against the good offenses in the Big Ten, like Ohio State and Oregon. It might take 28-31 to win, but most of our other games shouldn't.
Well, I think the only the big scores we got to worry about, obviously Oregon, Ohio State. But then after that, doesn't get too crazy.
No, there's not any top tier offenses. Anybody that's just going to try to get into a shootout with Penn State.
No, I don't think so. I think it's as long as we play it the type of game that we can play, I don't think we're going to see any issues.
Yeah. Man, I'm ready for some football.
I want football so bad.
We got 50 more days until Nevada is in Happy Valley at 3:30 on CBS.
It's so far away, but it's so close at the same time.
But I think that'll do it for us today on this episode of Penn State live on the Voice of College Football. We're going to come back at you on Tuesday. We're going to be a little earlier, Tuesday, 5 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock. Instead of your nightcap, we'll be there with you for dinner.
So you'll be having a steak instead of having a whiskey, as they like to say.
So, all right, it was fun talking football with all of you. Hope you guys enjoyed watching us, and you'll like, subscribe, review, and help us grow this channel.
Every like and subscribe helps. Anybody else is a Penn State fan who enjoys this, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Helps with the algorithm, helps with everything, gets us growing. Let's get this up and going, boys and girls. Thank you so much.